afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our series of Sustained Leadership webinars. Happy to welcome all of you from different places of the world, and really pleased to have with us an inspiring leader, an inspiring thought leader that I look up to. We have Christoph Jacob with us today. Christoph is a serial entrepreneur. He's a founder of different startups, and he's an expert in building sustainable, profitable, and growing companies. He's been working with a lot of companies, helping them build successful leadership in agile times, and how to be innovative in the digital transformation journey. He's an internationally experienced C-level executive. He's been part of many boards, acting as supervisory board member of technology and security companies with global digitization successes. He's got relationships to Harvard Business School, leading startup incubators and innovation platforms both in California and in Europe. He's also known as a specialist in building highly competitive products and services, as well as business model innovations. As I know him for his personal drive to make and support companies so they grow profitably in the long term, and they use innovative competitive advantages and business strategies that are difficult or impossible to duplicate, which can give them that competitive differentiator and competitive edge. Christoph is also an author and co-author of many publications about innovative ecosystems, and you can look him up and connect with him on his LinkedIn. I could spend the whole time that is dedicated to this webinar to talk about his achievements, but I'd rather spend it in listening to him, giving us a taste of his expertise on leadership. And today we'll be talking about how to use leadership to build high-performing teams. And I would say today we are more in need of high-performing agile teams, especially that we are dealing with the new normal, where we have to work with different teams remotely, with virtual teams. The whole business landscape is changing. The work environment is changing. So we're really excited to get some insight from somebody like Christoph today. Thank you so much for being with us. And I would say the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Hanane, for the introduction. Good afternoon to you, dear ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues and friends. My name is Christoph Jacob, and I thank Hanane for my introduction. And I hope that most of you are healthy and you are corona-free. And I get started, of course, until the beginning of 2020. We all believed that the global economy was stable. And since the financial crisis in 2007, we've been confident with an annual global economical growth rate of approximately 3.8%. The outbreak of the coronavirus has exposed many weaknesses. The pandemic is still active, and the findings are many and very painful. Many hundreds of billions of euros have been pumped into the economy as a financial governmental aid. A current wave of bankruptcy thus have been postponed for some industries and is still expected. Many companies lack the necessary reserves and have to struggle with the massive consequences and changes through the corona crisis. For many companies, sales declines of more than 10% are already threatening their existence. So it's clear that a rapid rethink is needed. I have a question to all of you now. I guess most of you went to university or college, isn't it? Please tell me, what are the degrees you finished your study? You probably can use also the chat
yes,
to give
it'd be
that
great.
information.
Yes. If you can just use the chat, it would be easier and faster so that we can read. And then Suhail, Mo could read the answers for us, if you don't mind.
Okay. So I can see you're an architect, you're a civil, mechanical, software, electronical engineer, you are a lawyer, medical doctor, master's, you're an economist, and you have other diploma and degrees. I guess none of us went to university, studied there 3, 4 years, and got a degree like Master in Leadership. And leadership can be developed through business and people experience if we focus on it. It doesn't come automatically only by being in a leadership position.
Actually, yes, if I may interrupt, Christoph, it makes sense what you're saying, because it's one of those words that we keep always talking about. And from what I've learned through experience and through the discussions we get with clients or in conferences or in interaction, I think it's still not clear to everybody. So I'd like to hear from you, what is leadership? Is there a definition for leadership from your point of view?
Yeah, Hanane, thank you for that question. And I've asked more than 100 executives, and I actually got close to 100 different definitions what a leader is and what a leader does. Some of you would say a good leader influences others to do what you say. Others would say you have to inspire other people. Others would say, hey, forget about all these fluffy stuff. The main question is, are you making money or are you making no money? If you are making money, you're a good leader. So I realized I've spent the last 20 years on trying to identify what leadership is. I realized there's a lack of clarity and agreement on what leadership does.
Absolutely, Christoph. So can you explain to us, so what makes us, or make everybody who feels that they are leaders, what makes leaders so special? Or we as leaders, because we are all leaders in what we do and we aspire to be. So what makes us so special?
Yeah, we are all visible for the rest of our organizations. How we act as leaders set the tone for what others believe they can do or they cannot do. Our main job as leaders is to create the platform for an agile culture where we create an environment of success, where our people can realize our and their goals. We, the top executives, are responsible for setting the direction. We are not alone, as most of the time we are part of a management team. And it's so important that the management team is totally aligned. Alignment with our thoughts and the way how we want to support each other to get a real synchronized leadership team. And I tell you, there are so many potentials out there. There are so many opportunities in the market that we together with our organization can create the best company with the best value also in the eyes of our customers.
Absolutely, and the people as well. But so Christoph, from what I hear from you, before we finalize what leadership does, or we agree on a definition of leadership, I think we could agree that leadership needs an ownership mindset. So what does it mean to have that ownership mindset? If you can elaborate, please.
Yeah, thank you for that question, Hanane. It's absolutely true. Ownership means I take responsibility for my actions. I am responsible for my thought. I am responsible for my initiative. Best employees think and act like they are owning the company.
Sorry, can you please mute your mics? Whoever is with us, can you please mute your mic so we can listen to Christoph, please? Thank you. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
So best employees think and act like people, like they are owning the company, department, organization, challenge, or the idea. On the other hand, I've met so many people all over the world who does not think at all like owners. They work in companies and they say, it's all screwed up here. Sorry, that's not my problem. But people see themselves as victims and they don't take responsibility for solving problems. They only say, you need to change, they need to change. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, this is not leadership. Only to blame others who are accountable is not helpful. I'm sure all of you can recall this kind of experience day by day. Who of you have not heard not similar statements like that? Is that helping anyone? Is that helping a customer? I don't think so. Leadership without ownership is just impossible.
Absolutely. And may I ask one more time, can you please mute your mics because there is so much noise in the background? Whoever is with us, can you just make sure that your mic is muted? Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you, Christoph. Absolutely. Leadership without ownership is not possible. So we, as top executive, definitely need to take that ownership of this leadership challenge, especially in these days. And probably we should ask ourselves a very fundamental question. Why some people are not taking that responsibility? And why there is this lack of ownership? And I think we've seen that happen, especially with this crisis that we are still navigating through.
Yeah, that is very correct. We have to ask our people what we as leaders can do to support them, that they are willing to take over responsibility. If we want outstanding top performance, if we want that our people are giving their blood, sweat, and tears, and if we want that they are walking the extra mile, if we want that our people are totally engaged, we have to take care of our people and give them a framework of trust, compassion, stability, and hope. Outstanding performance is only possible if people feel secure and they have their mind free to invest all their power, all their time, all their thoughts of doing what is best for our organization and for our customers. My direct reports are telling me that they feel that I take care of them. This most likely comes from my belief as a leader, we have to treat our people like family.
Treat people like family. Yes. So tell us, Christoph, why do you think so? Why do you think it's needed? Because sometimes when you mention that, a lot of people say, well, this is business. It's not personal relationships, and business is business. So it'd be interesting to know why you think that we need to treat, as leaders, we need to treat our people like family.
Yeah, thank you, Hanane. I learned this in the early years of my career when I started to be responsible for people. Just 30 years ago, it was 1991, when I was married to a lady from Guatemala. When I came back home one evening, I spoke with my wife and I explained her about my role as a leader. And I told her about the resistance of my people and that I feel that I'm totally failing. My wife at that time was software engineer by education. She was working as a CFO at IBM Central America when I married her. She said, Christoph, if you want your people to follow you, then you have to take care of them and respect them, she told me. If your people do not feel this with you, they will not follow you and they will not believe in you. She was totally right. We follow leaders not because we have to, but because we want to follow them. We follow those who lead not for themselves, but for ourselves. Another example I have good experience with is that I'm totally accessible for my people. My people are telling me that they enjoy having a very close connection with me and that I'm there for them whenever they need me, not only via email, telephone, and video conference. I'm there for them. I'm helping them to improve their strength because there's so much more benefit in improving their strength than improving their weaknesses. Of course, I want to know their weaknesses as well, but not to blame them. All of us have weaknesses, and it's good if the whole team knows about all these weaknesses because a team can eliminate these individual weaknesses through the team competencies and we can support each other.
Absolutely. I like that approach of strength-based leadership rather than focusing on weaknesses. However, now that you mentioned that we all have weaknesses, and sometimes it's very hard for leaders to admit that. I don't know if I've been triggered. I'm going to try to ask you this personal question. Can you share with us, or do you know, are you aware of what weaknesses do you have, even as a top executive and as a seasoned professional?
Yeah, thank you, Hanane, for that question. Actually, to be honest, I have many weaknesses. One of my prominent weaknesses is probably that I'm missing the gene of diplomacy.
Mhm.
And who told me that? My management team members. We have a very trustful relation, and I'm asking them to support me. Support does not work if they only tell me how outstanding I am. No, like that, I cannot develop myself. I need to learn, and I'm learning every day. Learning is so important. And the biggest supporter of my learning are my people. We have to ask for feedback from our people, the people who sees and work with you every day.
Yeah.
It takes some time to build up this relation of frankness and trust with a candid feedback culture. At the beginning, they did not want to give me constructive feedback because they feared a negative consequence for themselves. I insisted on them being honest with me because I would like to create more value for my own performance. When we have management team meetings, I can tell you honestly, this is not a coffee drinking harmonized management team meeting. We are daily having passionate, sometimes aggressive discussions how we can improve our approach to our people and to our customers. We are discussing and arguing as long as it is needed that every person is totally aligned with the solution. And this doesn't mean that I will win with my opinion. No, not at all. We together create the best solution for our company. When we leave the room, then we as management team have one opinion, one direction, one communication, and there's nobody in the world who can bring a piece of paper between us. Therefore, team alignment is so important. Alignment creates security, trust, hope, and compassion for the whole organization. And it's important for us as leaders, as well as followers, as well as our customers.
Yes, I totally agree. And I think whoever knows me who's present here in this webinar would totally remember that I always speak about alignment. Alignment is key. And there is a quote that I always mention that, and you can find it even on our website. It says that the success of every strategy is 1% vision and 99% alignment. However, as you said, alignment doesn't just happen. You need to create that space to gain that trust. And how you do that, I think there was a message from Harvard Business School that Harvard did a study and they looked at why leaders fail. And they found that leaders fail mainly because they don't ask questions. They don't ask what support people need so that they can succeed. They don't ask how people are perceiving or seeing things. And they don't ask for feedback, which is very, very important. What's your take on that, Christoph?
Yes, Hanane. And the result is isolation and inability to learn. Yes, of course, there are times where you have to decide and have to say, we do it this way and no more discussion about it, no question. But most of the time we have to ask questions. We have to ask our people because they know it much better than often we as leaders know.
Absolutely.
Some of you already think or are confident that you are an outstanding leader. Probably you will call me naive, but I really believe all of us, it doesn't matter where the starting point is, can be outstanding or even more outstanding. And we can all, including me, inspire or further inspire our people. As I said earlier, you can find 1,000 of books about leadership and you can find 1,000 of definitions of leadership. What I want to do here is to present some simple, useful ideas that will help us to bring that to life.
Excellent. So, Christoph, how about now, after having gone through so many insights from you, we're starting to think what is required for us to get a possible definition of leadership and what makes it so difficult to do so?
Yeah, with pleasure. To
Thank
get
you.
there, we have to ask the question to all of us. Can you figure out what you believe regarding your own organization to be in the future? Can you answer that question? Would you be able to write it down? This is not an easy thing to do. If you would ask your people, would they know? Would they know what they have to tell you, where your organization will be in the future? My experience is that this is one of the most difficult tasks in the job, to cascade ideas and visions to the next level, expecting your direct reports to take it from you and drill it to the next level. This is one of the most difficult challenges. My learning is if you are clear with your beliefs, you cannot over communicate. Yeah, we should ask many questions to our people and ask them, how did you receive the message? What did you understand? What is your interpretation? What are your thoughts about it? And of course, where do you see challenges? A leader is always striving to figure out his or own belief and is very passionate about it. The next question we have to answer: what creates a common company DNA? A DNA that is the binding element between all of us. They, the agreed platform which we use or should use day by day. It's the glue which join us all together if we ensure we want to be aligned. All of us have different characters, different individual strengths and weaknesses, different academic educations, different languages, different functions, different positions, different cultural backgrounds. So more, we have to work out tools like vision, ambition, and mission statements, values and principles to work together, and we have to turn these from papers and posters and presentations into life. All these tools, values, and principles are integrated and connected with each other. They show that we are a people company. They confirm that we have committed to take care on our people, customers with highest priority. Our company DNA creates trust, compassion, security, and hope. And you will remember that what we believe, how we act as leaders, set the tone for many others to believe what they can do or what they cannot do. Our beliefs impact others.
Absolutely. I do believe in role modeling, and I believe in the saying that says people hear what you say, but mainly they see what you do. So it's really about how you do it to set that tone, as you said. So, which brings us to probably to bring the image more to life, as you mentioned. Maybe you can share with us when it comes to your company, BlueWest, which is among the many companies that you own and manage. But I think that currently this is the main organizations that you are part of that you are daily managing. So for BlueWest, what are the beliefs, since you talked about the beliefs that impact others?
Yeah, thank you very much, Hanane, for that question. I believe BlueWest is the best company to work for. I deeply believe it. I'm 58 years young, and I've worked in different companies all over the world. And I'm pretty sure my complete management team and my people love to work for BlueWest as it's their own company. And I'm very happy and thankful about that. I also believe our managers and customers and regional entrepreneurs, they are driving our local organization. We support them. We are their sparring partners, and we create a framework of trust. We ensure they are passionate and they agree on why BlueWest, which enables them and their local organization to deliver the promised and expected results. And by the way, entrepreneurship does not mean that everything works with kind of first time approach. Entrepreneurship means that we are allowed to fail as well, fail and learn, start again to get better day by day. Our beliefs have much more impact than we can imagine. Every leader owns his own belief. Even more important is that you are in charge of making your belief happen. So once you have conviction about your belief and you are aligned with your company DNA, we as leaders have to act on our belief. Our management principles give a clear direction and remind us to focus on essentials, to concentrate on a few things only. If we choose more than 5 activities, that's like having no, that's like having zero activity. No person, it doesn't matter how much talented and capable he or she is, can do more than 5 initiatives. At BlueWest, each person has maximum 5 valuable initiatives. The criteria for prioritization is the need for adding value to our customers and our BlueWest organization, shareholder, and society, of course. If we are clear with our selected actions, clear that they are delivering value, then do it, do it now, and do it immediately. Our real assets in our company are not only our factories and machines, but the workers in our factories, our BlueWest people, and the relationship to our customers, and of course, our BlueWest brand. These are our real company's assets. We and our people also create and we maintain the outstanding brand of BlueWest. Our brand recognition did not come from advertisements in radios, TVs, magazines, or newspapers. No, our people, together with our fantastic products, created the BlueWest brand, and BlueWest is the best brand in our industry around the world. And we can feel that every time when we receive deep appreciation from our customers about BlueWest. Our people from BlueWest really make the difference in our markets and the different departments working hand in hand to create and serve and excite our customers. And I believe differentiation through our BlueWest people is one of the few ways how you can differentiate yourself because products are globally accessible, innovations are getting shorter times, and through digital transformation, differentiation get more and more important.
Absolutely. Thank you, Christoph. That's an amazing and inspiring case study of Blue West that you just shared, and it's a lot to process. And I think you just really it's thought provoking all of these, and a lot. It's a call for us to all reflect. So before you come to an end, if I would call you to share with all the participants and with myself the key learnings. If we want to summarize this amazing presentation that for me, I'll have to go back to the recording, and we'll be, by the way, sending the recording to everyone to really grasp on some of the insights that you shared. But just before you leave, if you want to just give us key learnings in some summarized points, that'd be really appreciated.
Yes, I will do that. We, the top executives, are responsible for setting the direction in our companies. So more important is that the management team is aligned. Alignment with our thoughts and with the way how we want to support each other as a synchronized management team around the world. Before I close this session, let us quickly agree and get aligned on what leadership is. First, be clear and passionate with your own beliefs. Ensure they are consistent with your company DNA. Second, Act on your belief and empower your people to stand up and challenge. Third, prioritize and allow your people to prioritize what creates value, concentrate on a few things, allow people to fail and learn from this failure. By getting a close relation to our peers, we create an atmosphere of candor and trust and a feedback culture which enables us to learn and get better day by day. We executives are responsible for setting the direction to create an entrepreneurial platform of trust, compassion, security, and hope. Let's support our people to focus on their strengths and their priorities. Let's build organizations with an aligned company DNA and highly engaged management teams where people can execute their full potential. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you very much, Hanane, for organizing this webinar. Thank you, Sustainable Leadership, to enable this platform. Thank you to my BlueWest team. Please send your feedbacks about this webinar and about your leadership. We appreciate your support and hope that you enjoyed it. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you very much, Christoph. This was really amazing. Clarity, alignment, trust, creating safe spaces for people to learn through failure are all very important, especially in today where we are, the future is uncertain and we are navigating through a very ambiguous landscape where we cannot use the tested and tried methods. And if we're not going to use the tested and tried method, means we have to experiment, and to experiment a lot, you need the trust, you need to ask the questions. So everything you said is very valid, and all of us as leaders can learn from it. Thank you so much. It was very valuable. Thank you everyone for attending. We will be sending the recording for those who came late, or for those who registered and could not attend. And we feel really grateful for Christoph and his team for having put together this amazing presentation. Thank you again. Have a great evening and see you soon with another webinar from Sustain Leadership webinar series. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.